We always talk about this group, and when we get together, there's just some things we just cannot ignore. Um, Again, it would not behoove us if we didn't talk about the this upcoming election. Um, Dumbfounded. That's me personally. Like this is outrageous to be very 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 honest. Does anybody have just immediately like some candid thoughts about this upcoming election that you wanted to share? Me personally, you had something to say, Sandy?
There's just no words.
There's no words. You know, there was a long time ago when somebody pointed out something to me when George W. Bush was president, and he was meeting with Angela Merkel, who's the Chancellor of Germany. Angela Merkel, from what I understand by trade, is like a nuclear physicist. And it was like, look at this nuclear physicist and look who represents America. And it's like, nuclear physicist, who represents America? And, you know, even before we get into the African American issues that surrounds this election, just like, what does it say for America that Donald Trump, it's come down to Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton? Like, these are our choices. Like, this is where we are in 2016 at a pivotal moment in history. And this is where American politics, what it has come to. Like, I personally think that this particular election has opened the door for a whole lot of foolishness to come behind it. Like, I think that is just totally a popularity contest. It doesn't have anything to do with intelligence, fitness to run the country, past experience, a resume, education, nothing. It's just about who has the best soundbite and how popular I am and how I could how I could, confuse the masses. I don't even know what to say because I'm totally confused.
Well, I wouldn't say that it comes down to it definitely comes down to sound bites, but I wouldn't say that it's about like intelligence and who's fit to run the country and all that type of stuff, because Hillary Clinton has an extensive resume. However, she does approach this election just like the sense that I get from her is just like, this is my time, this is my turn, and you need to get on board. Yeah. It's kind of like you didn't know. It's my turn now.
Yeah.
And that's the consensus. That's what I get from her. I don't feel that she hasn't earned my vote. I feel as if I were to go to the polls to support her, it would simply be because I don't want Donald Trump to become president. And I think that is the general consensus of many of her supporters. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about, like, of course, we can't let him become president. But what does it mean for me to, or not what does it mean, do I have to throw my support behind somebody who I don't necessarily think has my best interest at heart?
Well, let me pose a question to kind of piggyback off of what you're talking about. One of the biggest things that's often thrown in your face as an African American person is this, right? Like, I have no desire for Hillary Clinton to be president. I have no desire for Donald Trump to be president, right? Here's the question. Anytime you say, you know what, I don't think I'm going to vote, the first thing that people often throw in your face is,
people died for your right to vote.
People died for your right to vote. Yeah, your ancestors fought for that. People got beat over the head for that. Like, am I the only person that, personally, I don't want to be guilt tripped into voting.
Yeah, I think that you can look at it a different way. They died for your right to vote. They didn't die for you to have to vote. Those are totally two different statements. Mm-hmm. And so when you can interpret what they're saying as, I have the right to vote, but I don't have to execute that right every year if I don't feel like it. They died for me to have the right not to execute. And so if you think about it like that, then I feel like you can make a more conscious decision of whether or not you want to vote or not, and do it all because you want to, not because
You feel pressured.
you feel pressured to do it.
No, because I had this conversation with my father, and his response was, well, not voting for Clinton is the same thing as voting for Trump. And I think that's what a lot of people think. But honestly, I don't think I don't think they're synonymous at all. If you go to the polls and you vote for someone, in my opinion, it should be because they are representative for the change that you wish to see. And she has not won me over. And at this point, I don't see why I should rally behind her. And if I did, it's simply because of what the alternative could be.
You know, I just kind of look at it from a very basic standpoint too. Just as, I don't know, maybe as a man, nobody's gonna punk me into doing anything. So, and that's what I feel like with this election. Like people telling you, like, oh, if you don't vote, like, same thing you said. Like if you don't vote for Hillary, you're voting for Trump. Like, I'm a grown man. Like, let me tell you something. Like, furthermore, look, neither of them are good for me, and furthermore, I just choose to walk away. Like, you know, and I'm not even necessarily saying that that's what I will do this election, but I should have the right to say that. So don't try to guilt trip me into anything, because whenever somebody tries to guilt trip you into something, it's probably not good for you to begin with. That's just my personal opinion.